It's Mary on the run. 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 Mary on the run.
So as we start, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us where you've gone to school.
Yeah, I'm Reilly Burns Cohen. I graduated the class of 2017. I'm now a senior, scary to say, at Lehigh, and I'm from Fairhaven.
Okay, so thank you very much, Reilly, for joining us today. And we, of course, all have very fond memories of the class of 2017 and now soon to be the class of 2021. So tell us a little bit about your experience at Lehigh.
It's been great. So I'm studying industrial and systems engineering, which a lot of people don't know what it is. It's basically like any sort of scenario where you need more efficiency. So making something faster, cost less money, anything like that. I went into Lehigh knowing I wanted to do engineering, which is part of what Trinity helped me figure out. And I actually went in thinking I wanted to be a chemical engineer because I loved chemistry, and I did that my freshman and sophomore year. I soon realized it wasn't exactly what I had in mind. So I switched my major to industrial and systems engineering. And since then I'm doing that, and I'm also minoring in engineering leadership.
Wow, that's pretty good. So industrial
and systems engineering.
Systems.
A lot of schools just call it industrial engineering.
Okay.
But I don't know.
What makes this different? And you're saying it's about efficiency?
Yeah, it's basically about efficiency. So I do a lot of coding, a lot of like computer programming and stuff like that. Basically, like making softwares for different companies that they can use to make their like processes faster. For my internship this summer, I worked for a law firm actually, and I was in their technology department. And what I was doing was helping to create a program that basically takes a process that usually takes them days to complete, where they're getting a ton of information and they basically just have to file it and sort it and everything, and it's completed in a matter of seconds. So stuff like that, or like supply chains, figuring out what step needs to go to what step next, and you're kind of like breaking down that process. And if a company has it going from place A to place B to place C, and then we'll figure out it's a lot quicker if you go from like A to C to B, stuff like that. So
that sounds really, really interesting, right?
Yeah.
And we all know that, or at least those of us at Trinity Hall know how important engineering and developing that mindset is to solving the world's problems. So where are you going to go after?
I'm not exactly sure yet. So the internship I did this summer was actually in California.
Oh, wow.
I didn't end up going to California because of COVID, but I would have been right outside of LA. I think I want to be more on the East Coast, so I'm applying to more jobs in New York and like Philly area. So I guess if that doesn't work out, I'll be back in California.
I am confident that something will work out. You sound like you really are passionate about this particular field of engineering.
Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah, I love hearing you talk about it. So that's great. So did we prepare you well to be in engineering? Because I think the answer would have to be yes, because you started in engineering and finished, which is great.
Yeah, I think you definitely did. It's always interesting to say to my friends, like, yeah, I went to a high school class where I took a high school where I took engineering classes just like I took English, and they're always like, what? Like I have so many friends who are graduating with engineering degrees, and in high school they didn't even know what it meant to be an engineer, and they're just like, oh, I'm good at science and math, I guess I'll try this out. And especially Lehigh being such a big engineering school. But it definitely gave me the advantage going in, having people always say an engineering mindset, which is something that if you don't have, you definitely have to develop to be successful in engineering courses, just because it's so nitty gritty and stuff like that. And I definitely think I went into Lehigh with that from Trinity. Not just in the engineering courses we had, I think the math classes we had definitely gave you that mindset, and just everything being integrated was definitely really helpful.
That's wonderful to hear. Of course, that's why we teach it.
Yeah.
I'm all about making connections.
Yeah, well, it paid off, definitely.
Good. Well, I'm glad. So how's your family? Of course, I get to see your youngest sister.
Good. It's definitely weird having a sister who's a sophomore at Trinity, and I'm like a senior in high school, and she's like coming home and telling me all those stories. And I'm like, that's not right. That wasn't like that when I was there. I like forget that I'm like so far gone. but it's
So
so funny.
Reilly and her two sisters have all attended Trinity Hall, and so the Burns Cohen name is well known at Trinity Hall. So
Yeah.
we're thrilled to have all of your family here with us, and
Yeah, it was great.
pretty special indeed. So you also you still celebrate Hanukkah, right? You still
Yeah.
celebrate Hanukkah and Christmas?
Yeah.
Okay, so how was that going to Trinity Hall? Like when you look back at it, knowing that you were celebrating those two very important holidays?
Yeah, so it was actually, I mean, I'd never gone to a Catholic school before Trinity. I'd always gone to a private all-girls school, but it was a non-denominational school. And I guess like going into Catholic school, I was a little intimidated in that sense, knowing that we were going to take theology. I remember my like first week of theology class, and I had to write my first like reflection paper, and I was like, I know nothing. Like I was like, and I remember like emailing Miss Wheeler and being like, I'm really sorry. Like, I don't even know what this word means, like all this stuff. And everyone was like so accepting of it, which was really cool. We like even, I think it was sophomore theology when you learned about all the different religions. Yeah, and I got to do like a little presentation on Judaism, which was fun.
And you really got to be a leader in that class by giving a different perspective.
Yeah, there was another Sarah Frankel, who was also half Jewish. We got to lead the way.
Obviously, our population is mostly Catholic or mostly Christian denominations, but we have more and more students who are Jewish, Hindu, Muslim. So it's really great, and I love that world religions class. So I'm glad that you mentioned it. Now you also were a skier.
Yes, I'm still skiing a lot. I joined the ski club my freshman year. And did that, which was really great. We got to go to like a local mountain near Lehigh. I think you got to go like 3 times a week, and you could just kind of like pick and choose when you wanted to go. I'm going to Colorado on January 3rd to ski, which I'm really excited about. But yeah, still skiing a lot.
That's great. That's great. What activities were you involved in at Lehigh? So like tell me a little bit about the...
I joined Greek life my freshman year and joined a sorority, which was really fun. I also am part of the club soccer team, which I really love. I'm in Society of Women Engineers, Engineer Club Orders, I'm in a coffee club.
Very good, very good.
Things, yeah.
And engineering continues to be, really important to us at Trinity Hall, and the whole design thinking methodology is infused in every class. Now, you didn't get to do the city project when you were at Trinity Hall, right? That's one for the books.
Really?
Yeah, it really
I think it definitely, whether you go into engineering in college or not, just having that mindset like installed in you early on helps you regardless what field you're in. Makes you much more of a proactive thinker, I'd say.
So we did prepare you, but one of the things that we have heard from the girls, and I think we might have even heard it from some that are at school with you at Lehigh, is our lower level of assessments, the fact that we don't give a lot of tests, caused some of the girls to be challenged a little bit in the first semester at college. Did you find that same experience?
I didn't necessarily. I guess it was something that even though Trinity had a different way of assessing us, I don't think that just because we didn't have these hard tests and final exams that we weren't tested of our knowledge. And I think going into Lehigh, a very traditional school, I knew that I was going to be tasked with these really hard exams. And that kind of encouraged me early on to explore my resources. So I was constantly going to office hours. I was constantly reaching out to my professors. I had a peer mentor, so a girl who was a grade above me. She wasn't the same major, but she was also an engineering student, who I could text, call anytime and just be like, I have no idea how to study for this, like stuff like that. So I think definitely realizing that in college it won't necessarily be the same, it makes, I guess, the shock less different and make you feel like you weren't prepared, because I think we were still tested pretty well on our knowledge.
That's really great to hear, and I love how you explained that. So, and the fact that you really used resources is something that we try to really encourage all of our students. Now we have a daily student support period that happens every afternoons. Just again, with what you said, we want to encourage everyone to use their resources, because we know using our resources, asking for help, getting the support that we need really can make a big difference in how successful we are. So I really appreciate you saying that.
Being at Trinity and teachers always being readily accessible for you, whether it's through email or just being able to chat with them during lunch or right after school, kind of made me as a student feel like my teachers are always approachable. So I guess when I got to college, not that my professors ever gave off that impression that they were as approachable, but in my mind I was like, oh, they're my teachers, I can say this to them. And I think having that like forward thinking definitely gave an impact on my professors about me. So
okay, good. And another something else that we've changed based, and this would absolutely should connect for you, but we also infuse the computer programming, coding into everything.
That's great.
It is, isn't it? Because you were short.
Yeah. Yeah, coding is definitely something I wish I had more experience of going into college, because I obviously like knew what it was, but never had much experience. So I didn't know if I liked it or whatnot, but it was something that I picked up on very quickly and actually like loved doing. So I think even if I like had that experience, maybe I would have majored in like computer science, engineering, something like that. Luckily though, my major does have a lot of coding in it.
Yeah, it sounds like it really does.
Yeah.
And that whole notion of efficiency, I mean, that's something, maybe I'll do that on my next career.
Yeah, it's great.
Sure. I always say that when I retire, I can work at Disney because I know how to move crowds.
That would be so much fun.
It would be fun, especially now that we have, 309 girls and we're trying to one-way traffic and, make sure that everyone is protected from COVID. So that's really good. So we've got all these young students here, and hopefully they'll be listening to this. I don't know. We don't call it a podcast. It's posting. Mary on the Run. And what would you like? Some parting words of wisdom.
This part sounds cliche. Really take advantage of the time you have at Trinity. I don't even think I realized how much I learned at Trinity until I was in college and away from Trinity. And when I was able to like kind of take that step back and putting myself into perspective with the other students around me, and what advantages I had or even disadvantages I had, and how Trinity taught me to get over those. I also would encourage students, I guess they're sort of in a different position than we were, but to reach out to alumni. Like I know this is such a troubling time, especially with girls who are sophomores and juniors looking for colleges and they can't really go tour them. So if they see any of us who are at schools that they're interested in, texting or calling us, like they should always feel welcome to reach out to us, and we can like text them pictures of campus or give them a virtual tour, or even if they just want to know about a certain program or something like that. I think all of us would be more than happy to help.
Thank you. I would agree. And I'll make sure that Mrs. Morelli knows that. She's our new director of college counseling. And so as one of our founding faculty, she knows all of you girls and she'll reach out to you. So that's great. And Mrs. Bergamo is still there too. So I thank you so much for coming on. You is there anything I didn't ask that you want to share?
I don't think so. I hope we can come visit soon.
Well, listen, I got plans. Now you know that I'm going to figure out a way to get you girls back on campus.
Yes, we know.
So it was like last year with graduation. Everyone else was doing. I had it all planned, so we had that wonderful graduation.
All figured out.
So I'm thinking, depending on what the environment is at the point at which you girls can come in, but we're going to do a tailgate or something.
That would be so much fun. Yeah.
So as soon as the spring season comes, it'll be warmer, and we'll do a nice tailgate party, and and then if the school day has ended, then we'll walk you through campus and everything else. So don't worry, we'll have an alum gathering for sure. I'm so disappointed I wasn't able to go see you girls on campus. I had all these beautiful plans of, like a lunch, a dinner, breakfast.
Well, this is great. This is a great idea. This definitely makes up for it. This was really creative.
Good. Well, I'm glad.
I was telling all my school friends about this, and they were like, "That's so fun!" Like,
oh, good.
They remember you? And I was like, "Yeah, they remember us."
Yeah, of course we do. We'll never forget you. We'll never forget you. So, Reilly, thank you so much. Enjoy your holidays.
Yes, thank you, and congrats on your retirement. It's really exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's time, it's time, and I'm old enough, and I've got 6 grandchildren, so I'm not going to babysit though all the time. I will.
Some free time.
Remember, I'm going to go to Disney. I'm going to work for Disney.
Yeah, it's a great plan.
It would be. So thank you so much. Say hello to your.
I will. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I'll say hello for her.
Great. Thank you so much.
It's Mary on the run. It's Mary.